My name is Joshua, and I am the Tribune. How do you really know it's God? That's many people's question. The reason why a lot of people ask this question is because they're comparing God to things that they are used to. They're comparing Him with things that they expect and other relationships that are human, that they understand how we communicate, and so this is how it is, and I can expect it to be like this. But that's not how God is. God is actually going to make Himself distinctive from anything that you are used to. This is how you know it's God. So if He's going to speak to you, for example, through a person, He's going to speak either through a person that you don't expect to hear from Him from, or He's going to speak a word through a person that wouldn't normally give you that kind of wisdom, that kind of insight, that kind of knowledge, that kind of anything like that. This is how you know it's God. This is how nobody can take credit. This is how, when it gets rough and you know God talked to you and you move forward in that thing, you can always assure yourself that He did speak to you. Now, this is the same for situations. In situations when you need to know, is this God? Is this really Him? Then you have to look at what is so unusual about the situation that works. This is a big point. It has to work. So He could use a horrible situation to bring something so amazing out of it that you really need. This is a good example of seeing Him in situations. He can move something forward and advance something in a situation that shouldn't work. He might bring you something that is so unusual for the place that you're in life. That's God. So the reason why He does it like this is, one, I already said, distinction. He wants you to know for sure that it's Him. Why is that? There's a couple reasons. The first reason is because He needs you to be confident when you're being obedient to whatever He's talking about. So that when it gets hard, you can actually look back and say, I know for sure that was Him. I don't have to worry about it at all. I just need to keep going. The second reason, as I've mentioned, is that He does not want anybody to take credit. So He will even use a situation or something or somebody that doesn't even know they're being used. This is something that is so powerful that I've learned about God that is, so amazing. He will even use one of Satan's children to give you a word, and they're totally oblivious of it. They don't even know what's going on. But that happens because He really wants you to know what He's saying. And this is what we have to remember about God. God really wants us to know that He is speaking, and He wants us to hear His voice. He is not playing some game that He's just trying to run and play hide and seek. That's not what He's doing. So this is why I'm simplifying this for everybody. Because when you simplify this and you realize that He wants you to hear Him, you will start looking for these unusual things. Now, it's important when you find these things, you make sure that you're obedient. You make sure that you take it serious. Because God will go through a lot of work to do opposite of what you're expecting to show you that He is right there with you for a reason. Now, this is also how he expresses His love towards us. Because normally when you're seeking God in these kind of situations and He shows up in this way, you really need it. He doesn't do this just to babble or for fun. I'm just gonna show up and surprise Him for no reason. No, He doesn't do that. There's a reason for it. So when God shows up like this in your life, make sure you find out what the reason is, and that's the next step of the process when you're trying to hear from God. He could give you a direct word, or He could have you look at a situation and see Him. But either way, find the reason so that you can actually profit from the word. Because always remember, God is not talking to you just so you can just take it and just do nothing with it. Maybe he wants you to have peace. That's action. Having peace is action. Maybe he wants you to do another step in his preparation process. Maybe he wants to give you revelation on a situation. Maybe he wants to give you revelation on yourself. Maybe he wants you to learn more about his character. These are all the ways that he will come and talk to you. And all the reasons why he will come talk to you. And I didn't even list all of them. This is just a beginner's message so that you can start finding God where he is in your life. Now, you do have to become a Christian to do this. You have to hear God after you become a Christian. Now, the difference between people who are not Christians and have things happen to them that are just random and wow, this what a coincidence, is that they don't lead to any purpose. When God does this, it will always lead to something else that leads to the next thing. And this is a long string of things that will happen. It's not just one time, and they'll have a consistent story to it. This is how you know it's God. These are not coincidences. So once you pick this up and you realize, wow, this is God. Now keep paying attention because he's going to start having a dialogue with you from there on out. This is how you know. Hail Jehovah.